It's delicious, so good, so yummy. I woke up the next morning, I took a shower, and let me tell you, I scrubbed that shit out of me. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new here. My name is Maria, or it's MJ here on YouTube. So as you guys can tell by the title, today I have a Belayered fragrance review for you guys. This is my second video that I have on the Belayered brand. Before I start, no, I am not sponsored by the brand. They have never sent me anything. These were all items that were purchased with my own money. If you guys are new to my channel, or if you guys didn't watch that previous video, basically Belayered, they are a fairly new company. They make inspirations of other perfumes. They also have like their own blends, so like their own perfumes, and they also have one-note fragrances that you can layer with other fragrances. In the past, I did talk about that company already, so I'm not gonna go too in depth with their company. And I do have other fragrances that I have talked about in the past, so I obviously will not talk about in this video, but in this video I will be talking about other ones. So from their one-note fragrances, I have Vanilla Dreams and I have Gelato. From their inspirations, I have My Sweet Dark Fantasy, which is an inspiration of Killian's Good Girl Gone Bad. I have Dark Temptation, which is an inspiration of Lancome's Oud Bouquet, and then I have Popped Cherry, which is now known on their site as Cherry Delight, and that one is an inspiration of Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. From their personal blends, I do have Mia's blend, and those are the fragrances that I'll be talking about in today's video. So if you guys are interested in seeing my review on each one and my personal take on each, then please keep on watching. Okay, so I'm going to start off with their one-note fragrances because they are more simple and I'm going to go through them a lot quicker. So once again, their one-note fragrances can either be worn on their own, or you can layer them with other fragrances to add a little bit of more sweetness, warm it up a little bit, add more depth, etc. So the notes on Gelato were whipped cream and ice cream, I believe it was. This one to me was just meh, like it wasn't really interesting, didn't really move me, didn't really just do much, if I'm like being honest. Lasting power was poor, and from what I remember, the sillage was also just whatever, it was poor as well. It was too simple, it was too boring, and it was way too close to the skin. For me, personally, I had to apply it twice on my arm because the first time that I applied it, I couldn't really smell it, it just disappeared, and then I had to reapply it on another part of my arm to tell you guys really what I was smelling, because it just, once it dried down, it just completely disappeared on me. Yes, it was a little bit sweet, so yeah, it just wasn't really anything that I would go crazy over, but that is Gelato for you. So the next one-note fragrance that I have from them is Vanilla Dreams, and I know that this one is one of their like most loved one-note fragrances. Personally, me, I don't think that it smells like straight up vanilla. I don't know what I was expecting from it other than smelling vanilla, really, like vanilla extract. I guess that's what I was like hoping that it would smell like, or maybe like a vanilla cake, but I don't know. For me, it was also kind of whatever. To me personally, it smells more of a like a body splash. It was a little bit fruity, a little bit creamy, and maybe like a little bit coconutty. It just had like that summer beachy body splash. Actually, to me, what it smelled like, if you guys are familiar with the Bum Bum, I think it's actually Boom Boom, but I say Bum Bum, but the Sol de Janeiro Bum Bum cream, that's what this kind of smelled like. Sillage was also pretty poor. Longevity was super matte as well. But I will say that I did add this one to like other fragrances that maybe were a little too strong for me, and this kind of just added that extra little creaminess or sweetness that I needed in that other fragrance. So to layer, I do like this one. Is it something that I would go out and buy? Maybe not. However, if I did have to pick between Gelato and Vanilla Dream, I would definitely pick Vanilla Dream over the Gelato one. Just Gelato just literally did nothing for me. It is good though. It's just longevity was poor, but kind of also like a pina colada smoothie. I don't know, it's good, it's just nothing that I would go crazy over. If someone gave it to me, I would definitely keep it, but yeah. All right, so now we're gonna move on to their inspiration fragrances. And by inspirations, I mean they are literally meant to be inspired after the original fragrance. But before I start, I do want to mention I have 3 inspirations, by the way. No, not 6, 3. Before I start, I want to mention that I do not own any of the original fragrances, and I have not smelled any of the original fragrances, but according to reviews or other people that have both fragrances or have smelled them, whatever, they say that they are pretty identical, 80% to like a 95%. All of these inspirations are pretty spot on, but personally me, I'm just going to tell you guys how they smell and if they're good or not. The first inspiration that I have is called Popped Cherry, or at least that's how it was sent to me, but now on their site it's called Cherry Delight, so it's no longer Popped Cherry. I think I got sent this one like before it got launched or whatever, because that's another thing about them. If you guys order not just any of these that I'll be mentioning today, but if you guys just order any of their other fragrances, most of the time they either send you guys 2 samples or 1 sample. I've gotten lucky that every single purchase I've gotten 2 samples, but I do believe that some people sometimes just get 1. But at the end of the day, honestly, I'm not like bitter about that, because a company doesn't really owe you any samples, if I'm being honest with you guys. This one is inspired after Tom Ford's Lost Cherry fragrance, and this one is good. Okay, not on my mouth. That one is strong, but it's good. Oh my god. Woof. But it's good. So this one is a true prominent cherry, not like a synthetic candy sort of cherry. This to me tastes like a real cherry. Like I can literally, I'm eating it. Like I'm eating it right now. Like I can taste it in my mouth. This one is so freaking good. This is a literal spot on cherry. I like sweet fragrances, but I don't like them to be like tooth rotting sweet. I like my sweet perfumes to have a little extra kick to them, so whether they're like salty and sweet, sweet and spicy, or in this case tart and sweet, especially tart and sweet, that's one of my like favorite combos in a sweet fragrance. So in this one, it's like a juicy, ripe but tart cherry. It's so good, you guys. It's delectable. Like it's so good. I find this fragrance super intoxicating, super smexy, as I like to call it on this channel. If you guys are new here, for me smexy is a way of saying sexy. I just hate the word sexy. It's so like cringe to me, but I say smexy. So it's super intoxicating, super seductive, very just it's very addicting. I would say that sillage on this one is pretty moderate, but if you do overspray this one, it's a bomb. I have layered this one with Geneva Chocolate, which is another one of their one note fragrances, which I do have as well, but I'm not going to talk about it in this video because I already did in my previous belayered video, which will be linked down below. On its own, it's amazing and it's delicious, but with Geneva Chocolate, it smells like covered chocolate cherries, and it's delicious. So good, so yummy. Next inspiration that we have, it's called Dark Temptation, and this one is inspired after Lancome's Oud Bouquet. The notes on this one are rose, oud, saffron, vanilla, and woodsy notes. On initial spray, I would say that it's not my favorite. On initial spray, for me, it smells a little bit like gasoline. Yeah, like gasoline, or like a bug spray. This one, when I first tried it, it was definitely not my favorite, just because I wasn't used to this sort of scent. It smelled very mature as well, like as it kept drying down, and it definitely was not my favorite. I got these samples quite a while ago, and I wore this in the winter, and I feel like this fragrance, that's when it shines the most. It's a very dark, like rose oody scent. This one is just super oriental. It projects quite well. Sillage is amazing, and it lasts forever. Like you take a shower and you definitely still smell this one. If I could give like a color to this fragrance, I would say that it reminds me of like the color brown with like a tint of like burgundy. Will say though, in the winter time, the winter that we get here in Florida, but you know, when it was cooler, it was a little bit more sweet, like a rose, oody, fluffy, sweet sort of fragrance, and I did like it. It just had like a fluff to it. However, yesterday when I put this on, and I put it on today to give you guys like a more fresh perception that I currently have, and now it's definitely a lot warmer now. And it wasn't my favorite. I will have to say it was not my favorite. My like perception on it just changed. To me currently today, it smells like a floral baby powder, and it smells once again very, very mature to me. Again, something that I would imagine my grandma would wear. Not saying that's like a bad fragrance, it's just not my jam. But I will say this is a very classy scent, and this is something that I would imagine that you would wear to like a theater performance or like a musical, something of that sort. All right, and the last inspiration that we have is my Sweet Dark Fantasy, and this one is inspired by Kilian. Good Girl Gone Bad. Notes on this one are jasmine, May Rose, Indian tuberose, narcissus, amber, and cedar. Now this to me was a direct flop. If I'm being honest with you guys, I did not enjoy this fragrance. I was really excited to just try it out. As everything, there's certain fragrances that are hyped up on the internet and you just want to try out, but this one to me was a direct flop. I tried this one out, I sprayed it all over myself. This is, by the way, a fragrance you do not need to overspray. It's pretty prominent. Sillage is definitely out there, longevity is definitely there. So if this is a fragrance that you find to enjoy or would like to try because you have tried Kilian's fragrance, then there you go. It will last a long time on you. But anyways, the night that I got it, as always, I test out my perfumes by pretty much spraying them on me before I go to sleep after my nightly shower. And if I wake up with it, it's a great perfume. So I woke up with it and it was still there. It was super prominent. I woke up the next morning, I took a shower, and let me tell you, I scrubbed that shit out of me. To me, this smells like a very sweet, obnoxious, moldy, wet wood, and cedar to be specific. I noticed that in fragrances, I really enjoy a perfume or a scent when it has like that dry woody scent, like the dry wood that is an alien. That's like a perfect example of a wood that I really enjoy. But in this one, it smells like a moldy, super wet, like a damp wood that was like left out after it rained, and it just smells bad and it's moldy and it's super sweet, super obnoxious in my opinion. I'm sorry if I'm offending you if you like this fragrance or if you like the original, the Kilian fragrance, but it's not for me. And everyone's nose is different and our skins are different and we perceive things differently, and I did not enjoy this perfume like at all. So that one is my Sweet Dark Fantasy. All right, so now moving on to one of their original blends, and this one is Mia's blend. This one is a very popular fragrance. I do not have Jo Malone, Mir and Tonka, but people that do have this one, and like I said, it's not an inspiration for anything, but people say that this one's also very similar to Mir and Tonka, and honestly I believe it because I have from them and it smells very, very similar to Olympia, and is one of their original blends. So yeah, this is Mia's blend. The notes on Mia's blend are Mir, tonka bean, vanilla, lavender, and almond. The sillage, projection, longevity on this one, I would say it's beast mode. You do not need to overspray this one. I am an oversprayer queen. 1, 2, and you're good to go. This was one of my favorite ones when I got it in the cooler months. I got this one I want to say in December. I tried it again yesterday and today to give you guys like a current perception on the fragrances that I have for you guys today, and I will say I'm not in love with it as I was back then. When I first wore this one to work, I oversprayed it and it annoyed me, and I was walking around work in my own scent bubble the whole day. I really didn't think that it was that appropriate for work. Like, I felt uncomfortable. To me, this perfume smells royal. It smells like a queen perfume. I know that sounds funny, but for some reason this is something that I would imagine that like one of the queens from like the Bible would wear. It's just like it has this royal oriental scent to it. It smells very deep and very sensual, but not in like, it's not smexy at all in my opinion. It has just this sensual, mature scent to it. Personally, do not like to age perfumes. I think you could wear whatever you want, whenever you want, and whoever you are, but I feel like 25 and over would appreciate this one a little bit more. I feel like it just has that very mature quality to it. It's also powdery, and I haven't heard anyone say this. When I said that my perception changed on it, it's because I didn't smell this like back in December and January. But yesterday when I tried it on, and today again when I tried it on, it had I feel like the lavender was definitely a lot more prominent, and it had a little bit of a masculine sense to it. However, I layered this with Geneva chocolate, and let me tell you, it went from like sensual to full-on smexy, like smexy, smexy, smexy. Takes it to a different level, let me tell you. So that is pretty much it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, leave your comments, concerns, or anything that you guys want to ask me, anything that you guys want to talk about in the description box below. Like I said, I have talked about this company before, so if there are any other fragrances that you guys want to know about, ask me. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, of course, only if you guys enjoy the video. There's never any pressure. With that being said, I hope you guys have a beautiful and blessed day, and I'll be catching you guys in the next one. My battery is literally dying, so I had to do that outro in like 2 seconds. So bye guys. My camera died, so I'm recording this on my phone now, so if the quality sucks, that's why. But I did want to mention this because I feel like it's very important. When I first recorded my Belayered fragrance, I was very new to the whole fragrance thing. I'm still learning and I'm still new, but back then, like literally not too long ago, January, dead ass January, I thought that designer fragrances had to be like, you know, bought a retailer price or even on like a fragrance net. But I felt like it was still like they were still really good dupes because they were very affordable for designer fragrances. But now that I think about it, the ounce that they give you, basically what they give you ounce wise to the price, it's not as affordable when it comes to designer fragrances. To niche fragrances, however, I feel like they are very affordable, and the price comparison is ridiculous. Like, it's really good, and I still will use them for that. So for example, I have a dupe for Carolina Herrera Good Girl, which is Love Potion on the Belayered brand. I will say Love Potion is a little bit more potent. However, that's, I think it was like the impression of it, just because when I first tried it on, it just lingered like in the kitchen area. Carolina Herrera though is still good. Love Potion though, I do have to say that it's a little bit it's a little bit more potent. However, Carolina Herrera, you can almost get it at the same price, maybe a little bit more, and sometimes even cheaper if you find a really good deal on Mercari. You do have to spray a little bit more for you to get that same potent vibe as Love Potion, but you get so much more for your like money's worth. Like the ounce wise, it's so much more than what Belayered gives you. However, in their niche category, I feel like they're still very worth it, and I will continue to buy their like niche inspirations. For example, Lost Cherry from Tom Ford, amazing, I love it. But from their designer, I don't think they're worth it. And their one note fragrances, I feel like, are really good. I feel like really all their perfumes are really good formulas, and most of them last a very long time. But I did have to put my 2 cents towards the designer category. Another thing that I will say, I watched Valivon, the Perfume Don's video here on YouTube, and she made a comment which I agreed with, which was basically a lot of people get their sampler pack, and by the time that they get their sampler pack, a lot of the products leak, and they should find a way to either tape it or whatever, because at the end of the day, it just hurts the company. You know, there's people trying out your products, and when they get the samples leak. When that leaks, the ink gets rubbed off and they don't know what they ordered. So they should find a way to, I don't know, tape it or something or whatever. I do also am part of the Alexandria group, and Hani has amazing customer service. I know that Alexandria and Belayered are 2 completely separate companies. And yeah, I don't know. That's all I'm going to say towards that. That's my 2 cents. I ain't shit, but that's my 2 cents.